Namaste, Vasudha. It is such a pleasure that finally, after almost 2 to 3 years of deliberation, we are sitting across each other. And I'm very, very grateful. I have been following your work. In fact, I got to know about you when you randomly picked up Keshamrit and talked about it. And I want to say thank you because we never knew each other. We never approached you. You never knew us. You randomly picked up a product, used it, and you loved it. And that one simple act of, just doing something because you liked it gave our brand the momentum that it was lacking.
So first of all, I want to thank you for having me and saying such lovely things about me. Your product went viral for a reason. It deserved to go viral. I was just a conduit. It had to come my way.
You became the
it was just a thing that I just. And I picked it up because I was doing a paid partnership for somebody else. And I looked, okay, let me try this. I don't know how good this will be. And I tried your hair cleaning powder, which is just herbs. And I'm telling you, I topo my hair with oil.
Yeah.
And I do it a few times a week. And I could not believe that in one wash, all the oil was gone. And I remember, I think it was a month or 2 months after I started using Keshamrit, I had gone for a head massage, and the guy who was massaging my hair, he just kept stroking my hair. Ma'am, aapke baal ke bahut achhe hain. Aapke baal. And I was like, can a hair cleanser change your hair? Yes, it can.
Okay, when we talk about the crown, for me, because I come in this through a very yogic perspective. I will not even say Ayurveda because I'm not a qualified Ayurveda student or I've not got degrees in Ayurveda. But I believe that my upbringing was no less than a university of Ayurveda. Because we come from the land of Tamil Nadu. And for us, every single breath we take is Ayurveda. So you are brought up with those values that, you're not supposed to touch milk and curd together. You're not supposed to wash your hair on a certain day. You're not supposed to cut your hair on a certain day. You're supposed to oil your hair as much as you can, because very few people understand that oiling your hair is not just about hydration of your scalp or giving it the kind of the quality, the greasiness that it needs to erupt. It has to do a lot with balancing of the doshas. Because of fashion and because of the culture now that you have, and you're going to look at it and you're going to say that, you have to have a good mane of hair. But the good mane of hair, if you can take care of it and if you can give it the nourishment that it requires, can actually align you spiritually.
So, as far as I'm concerned, I come from a family of complete atheists.
Acha.
Nobody even believes in God.
Acha.
I've never seen my mother praying, whatever. She just doesn't. My father prays for 2 minutes. He's a big Shivji Bhakt, so he'll pray for 2 minutes or whatever. But they've never, my father's never been to a Jyotishi. They've never, when they see me reading a horoscope, they're appalled. But I will say this, that
but God does that. He plants.
Okay, you are the spiritual seed in this family.
Come over here, yeah.
Exactly. So, but then, I come from a family of women who really like to take care of themselves. My mother, my grandmothers, my nani, my dadi, they're all
There's something else about that.
Yeah, they're all very well maintained, nice, clean hands, beautiful feet, really take care of their hair, take care of their hair. And they've always been of the belief of taking care of the hair naturally.
There you go.
And that's the school that I come from. My grandmothers had beautiful hair. My mother has beautiful hair. She has such thick, beautiful hair, even at her age. And by chance or by luck or whatever, my mother is severely allergic to hair color. Severely allergic to mainstream hair color. Look, I don't believe in sort of saying that, I don't have a chip on my shoulder that I'm using natural and other people are using chemical. And I don't even want to create that sort of division amongst women because God knows we have enough divisions, right? So good for whoever uses it. But my mother could not tolerate, mainstream hair color at all. She used to get these big sort of welts. And in fact, the doctor who was who met her told her, "Ma'am, you have to stop using it because there is a chance that you can go blind." That's what the doctor told her.
Because
So then she just had to stop using all sorts of hair color, and then henna, indigo, and then after a point, my mother had vertigo. She had whatever, all those sort of things. She stopped coloring her hair altogether, and her skin, I'm telling you, has been the best it has ever been in her life.
Wow.
After 70 years.
I mean, so many people don't understand what it can do to you. Right?
Exactly. And I really agree with what you were saying. It really hit a note when you said that it's not just hair oil, it's not just for hydration or conditioning.
Yeah.
It is such a misunderstood ritual. If you think about it, hair oils, they contain Jatamansi, they contain Bhringraj, they contain Brahmi, they contain all the brain nourishing herbs.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
all the things about now a few years back, 2016 is when the green beauty industry started talking about the skin has the tendency
True.
to absorb. That's why internationally they have banned all nanomaterials, right?
Yes.
Because skin can absorb, it can go down into your bloodstream.
Yes.
So why is it that all our hair oils have memory boosting, calming?
Yes.
Every hair oil has
Hormonal
something
balancing,
that
so
boosts
many,
exactly
yes.
hormonal balancing. Everything has to do with what your head is absorbing, how it's stimulating the roots. It's much deeper than just conditioning.
True. True. I think that's so profound.
Yeah. So all my life I had seborrheic dermatitis.
Okay.
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 All my life. Then I was working and I used to use an anti-dandruff shampoo, blah blah blah, whatever. And then I quit my job, and I was working from home. And then I decided that listen, I want to start oiling my hair. So it's not advised. And like to whoever is watching this, I don't want to say that my experience will be mirrored in everybody else. And
Of
if somebody
course.
has severe, please listen to your dermatologist. I'm no expert. I just like these things. When I started oiling, so I started oiling it for a very short period of time. I started with half an hour and I would use my anti-dandruff shampoo. And then I started increasing the amount of time I started keeping the oil on and started reducing the frequency of that shampoo. Okay? To now, 8, 9, what, to 2016 I started doing that, 2017 I started doing that. So 8 years later, 8 years later, gone.
Awesome.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
It went in that first year only.
Yes. See, what happens when you oil your hair is that your mood is getting stabilized. If you're feeling very stressed and you're getting a chumpy done, you're feeling better. Relationships, especially of partners, of mother and children, increase. They become more revitalized when you have this ritual. So in our culture, especially in Ayurveda, once a week is suggested as an oil bath, where you have Shirobhyanga with Shirolepam and the Abhyanga of the body. So what happens is oils like sesame and coconut, almond, all of these oils in a certain proportion, along with ajakshira or goat milk or regular milk and ghee, they are all combined together to create this thing where पूरे हफ्ते आपने काम किया, but once and it's also suggested that you should take a bath when the sun comes up, so at about 9:30. That means it was ritually decided that by 7:30 you will apply the hair oil or whatever the abhyanga oils, wait for half an hour. In that half an hour, the mother will come, she will put a urli with a little bit of water, she'll say put your feet. These were we've grown up, we've experienced these rituals Sundays after Sundays. Then you get lost because you grow up and then life happens. But then you go back because those rituals remind you of the serenity that you once experienced. So I believe that when we did Keshamrit, the whole idea was to bring together cleansing and Shirolepam together. When we introduced the oils, mystic, aloe and hibiscus, we said, get into the habit of oiling your hair. Don't do much. And when we do, we've done.
And only half an hour keep it on.
Enough.
Yes.
Yes, you're absolutely.
Your hair grows.
And the best part is if you can put a hot towel on it, even better.
Yeah.
Because then you're opening the cortex, you're opening the follicles, you're just allowing the body.
Yeah.
So this entire process, I feel, is not only about the hair. Anahata focus is on a ritual. That ritual will help your entire body, not just your hair. This is something that we've been wanting to work out on.
Does Amla, consuming it and applying it in a hair oil, does it reverse graying?
So I'll tell you with Amla, to apply it, you need to also add kalonji to it.
Okay.
You also need to do it in an iron kadhai
Okay.
because the iron content.
So you boil Amla kalonji with a base oil.
Any base oil, but preferably sesame
Okay.
and castor. So
Okay.
you mix 70% of sesame, 30% of castor.
Okay.
If you don't like the smell of sesame, you can make it 50% sesame, 20% coconut oil,
Okay.
and 30% castor oil.
Okay.
When you mix all of these three things and add just grated avla, the dried avla that you add, even if you add fresh avla, in a iron wok, it will make a huge
and you just boil
difference.
it on
you just
sim.
boil it on a very low flame
Yeah.
for about 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Let it cool down naturally.
Okay.
Strain it, apply it in your hair. It'll definitely help you reverse gray hair.
Okay.
Eating avla, however, when you ingest it, it kind of helps you a little more because it is full of vitamin C, correct? And vitamin C has a lot of advantages as far as, you know, oil secretion is concerned, allergy is concerned, hair growth is concerned, hair thickening is concerned. So I believe doing them both together will make a definite. And I think the magic here is kalonji, castor oil, and amla.
I'm going to make this oil. I'm going to make a reel of it, and I'm going to tag
you will love
it.
You will love it. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's been proven. My teacher, he was 6 feet 5 inches, and he had 8 feet 9 inches jata.
Oh my God!
So just imagine. So when he had to stand up, and his jata would be like the other end, he would apply like part of Sukesha with a lot of amla. He'd eat a lot of amla, and he'd always say कि अगर बाल अच्छे चाहिए और दिमाग अच्छा चाहिए तो आमला खाओ, आमला लगाओ. And you asked me that question, so
Ayurvedic hair care is extremely relevant.
Yes,
because whatever the mainstream hair care is doing, like India never used to be a country where women had bad hair.
Oh, never.
And
oh my God.
Indian hair is famous all over the world, right? But now if you look at girls' hair, everybody, like, everybody is getting alopecia. That's all because of stress.
That's a lot. And look at all the amount of laser salons that have these centers where you have laser treatment.
Hair, PRP, hair PR, whatever you know.
हर 500 meter में एक हो गया है.
Why has that happened? Literally over the span of 20 years, this has happened, which never used to be the case earlier. Suddenly the market opened in India, all these things came in, and you're like, my goodness, like, oh, put this oil aside, what is this gharelu?
And when Western companies did come, they did tell us that you're not supposed to oil your hair. And 5 years later, they launched their hair oil.
No, but
do you remember that?
So that's an entire epidemic. So I used to apply henna forever in my hair. Like I'm a huge, I use this particular henna, which I really love, and I used to apply it. And you go to a regular, salon, and they're like, we're not allowed. We're not allowed.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. I remember
this. It's one thing to promote. This is mainstream color. This is the thing. You are not allowed to apply henna. You are not, hair oiling a certain type of Ayurveda. It's not allowed. I find that honestly very degrading to us as a culture.
But we are the ones who promoted it. It is so sad, but
Yeah, but this is all this has been set by a very Western eye.
Absolutely.
That you cannot apply henna. If somebody gets their own henna in this salon, it's just not allowed. Isn't that like looking down on a particular culture?
Absolutely. If your self-worth has to be decided by you as a nation, as a country, we've done enough of this. We've been enslaved, and I understand that we have those, those impressions in our brains. It'll take another 50 years for it to go. All of that is accepted. But how can you blindside something that is plain sight in front of you that is only good for you? We are a country that has accepted everything. Like you just very beautifully said that I do oil my hair and I do love my retinol, right? I think it is about merging what is good for you and good for the environment.
Absolutely.
I think that's about it.
Generally, I feel like the whole world is now so binary. We are supposed to become much more tolerant, but we are really, divided into two, either you're natural or you're mainstream.
Yes.
And I'm like, it doesn't have to be like that. We are living in a time today where, all these ancient customs are being revived.
Yes.
And rightly so.
And if you don't now jump in and learn, when are you going to do it?
And also we are living in a time where we have the best of scientific advancements, right?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't we take the best of both worlds? Why should we be like either this or that? No, I want both. Like for instance, instance, take the case of fillers. Right, for years we were told that they are safe for years,
and now look at what's happened.
Fillers are migrating.
Can you
Imagine people who were getting, and now they're saying that fillers should only be done once a year.
Can you imagine? So, this is what it is.
Imagine those people who followed the previous protocol of getting their filler done once every 6 months, because that was the protocol which was suggested earlier, right? Now they're saying once a year.
Look at the amount of diseases that have erupted now as a consequence. So I've been wanting to give this to you. This is our latest offering, and this has been in the pipeline for 2 years at least. It's called Sukesha.
Wow.
So they are basically very simple. We don't get into unnecessary packaging and all of that. It's very simple. These are 12 bottles. Allow me to just remove one. It comes like that. It's a 15 ml, perfect for you because you love to slaughter your scalp with oil. 15 ml. You're supposed to use this once a week.
Like every bottle once a week?
Once a week. So like, for example, I use it every Thursday.
Okay.
So every Thursday nights, because I am into Shakti Sadhana, so I wash my hair on Tuesdays and Fridays. आप कभी भी हफ्ते में एक दिन आप लगाइए रात को. Best is to keep it in the night. Partition your hair, apply it, cover your hair with this tunda. So it's like a very nice cotton, very hand woven cotton. Yeah, बहुत अच्छा है.
Love it.
So what the trick is, this is a trick in this. The trick is that you use this towel to wrap your head after you have applied the oil, right? Then after you washed your hair, you use the same towel to wrap your hair so that the oil, which is a residue in this, becomes a natural
beauty conditioner.
Yes.
Oh,
and it nourishes the ends of the hair even without you realizing it.
That's fantastic.
So this is for you.
Thank you so much. I'm always excited to get gifts from you because you know how much I love your products.
In this first 6 months, if you use Sukesha, ideally when the weather is stable. So right now we are at a stable weather. Shravan, stable for 2 months. Then it will drastically change when winters come. So Navratri becomes the point where there's a transition happening. So if you look at India, festivals will happen during transition of ritus. And that is why it's called Ritucharya, right? So Sukesha has got all those herbs that will not only nourish, that will also help you procure new hair, especially if you've gone through some illness or you're not well, or there is a hormonal change in you, then there are herbs that are going to help you do that. The original formulation was 80 herbs. So, abhi 44 herbs usko kiya hai. We've made it down to 44, which have the same potency, which have the same gradient in terms of, you know, the way it can help your hair. It'll help from the root to the midland to the end. So it's got all of those. Now there are 44 herbs. Now out of those 44 herbs, they are divided where 20 are infused for 6 to 8 months. So you have the herbs, they are infused in oil and put underground in a dark corner for them to kind of mature. Like good wine. Like similarly, it gets infused in the oil. The second, so out of the 20, you have 24 left. Out of that, 12 are dried in the sun. And they're just left there. They're just dried and they're left there. The next 12 are boiled, infused by boiling. After the process is completed, all 3 are mixed together. And a final infusion happens on a double boiling where it is left to boil for 12 hours.
Wow.
After that, you strain it and then you use it.
I'm very excited.
It's an amazing oil. I'm telling you. And it's also very modern because some of the herbs like ylang ylang or rosemary, which are not really part of the Indic culture, have traveled from, you know, teachers who've taken Ayurveda, say to Greece or to Africa or Germany, where they have come back and said, you know, that when you mix these two things, it makes a huge difference. So Sukesha was something that was administered to me when I had lost all my hair.
Oh.
And it was something that they said, ye lep hai. So they would make the whole, of all the residue of the flowers, they would make a lepam. And the lepam would be then put on your hair. And first the oil would be applied. then the lepam would be kept, then they would cover that with like a cotton cloth, leave it on for about 2 to 3 hours, and then wash it off with cold water. That was the whole process. And I had literally lost all my hair, and Sukesha's helped bring that hair back. So Mystic Hair Oil, which we do, and Sukesha have been my friends for, I don't know now, 10, 12 years. Whatever I have is all because of this knowledge that has come in. So we were waiting to launch it till we got, like, people started to trust. We didn't want to launch something that is so important when we were not established ourselves. Now I feel we are at this point where we can, offer this to the people and say, listen, please try this. And I thought, you should definitely try it.
So I have a question for you. Why Thursday? Why do you wash your hair on Thursday?
See, first of all, like I told you, and I think everybody now knows that I look at everything very spiritually. Guruvar is a var of knowledge. It is a var of knowledge. So for me, Thursdays are very, very important too. Are we on a Wednesday today or a Thursday today?
Thursday.
There we go. And I didn't even know that this was going to happen on a Thursday. So for me, every time I have done something on a Thursday, it has always worked for me.
Really?
And I think I'm open to that idea. I have connected to that crazy thought and have agreed with it. So it presents itself,
I think it's also your spiritual instinct.
It is. I just wanted to ask you this one thing, since you've written so much, you've dwelled so much, it's all so much about, and I love the lens that it is India and it is our culture and our wisdom. Where do you see this going? All these wonderful rituals that you have written about, the rituals of the crown.
So based on, I'll just be very based on what requests I get on Instagram from women and what are the market gaps. I would say, people are looking for natural hair color. People are getting fed up.
Yahan pe or outside?
In India, I don't know about outside, but I feel like even abroad, because now there are a lot of niche brands coming out of natural hair color.
Yes.
A lot of people are looking for natural alternatives to coloring their hair. That is one place that is really holds a lot of growth. If somebody can nail a natural hair care formula, toxin free, that is just going to be superb. Secondly, I feel like a lot of people are moving towards supplements that reverse graying. I'm forgetting the name of the supplement. There is a supplement in the market where clinically it's been shown to reverse graying. Now, I don't know whether it's natural or it's like modern medicine or whatever, but that is also another way where we are heading towards, where we can take a supplement to sort of reverse hair growing. And the third place I feel like is really where we need to go is that menopausal hair care.
This is something that we need to talk about more.
We need to talk about, and we need to come out with specific hair care for menopausal women. Because look, everybody is getting older.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
We are in a market that's only Gen Zs and Gen A, whatever. And they are like the worst audience to also cater to because there is no loyalty there.
There is no loyalty. Oh my God, they bounce for
people
the slightest.
Need to look at Gen X, older millennials, and create hair products for them because they're really suffering, especially now. During menopause, perimenopause, women are losing pregnancy. What happens to women's hair in pregnancy? So if we think, create products for women who are pregnant.
Sukesha is a product for that. For people with perimenopause, with menopause, people who have had illnesses, who are recuperating, old age, where they've lost their hair, brittle hair, dry hair, Sukesha will help.
Why do people need conditioner now? So this is just my logic. Okay. So the reason people also need a lot more conditioner and treatments and this and that and whatever is because firstly you're using these very strip-in shampoos, right? Then you are getting so much of heat styling. Then you are getting so many of these hair color, rebonding, pata nahi kya kya. So obviously you need much more care. But if you were really to go back to whatever our grandmothers did, and look, I'm not a big proponent of whatever my grandmother did. I need to do that right now. I love my retinol serum. I use it every day, and and it's giving me beautiful results.
Really,
it's about what is relevant today, and I feel like Ayurvedic hair care is extremely relevant today.
Yes. I asked you these questions because according to me, for good hair, good gut is very, very important, and that will obviously translate to even good skin, because
Yeah,
hair
again,
is skin.
it's all like a matrix,
interconnected,
right? I
right?
mean, yeah.
Yes, I think taking care of your navel oiling. If you don't want to do your navel oiling, do your Surya Namaskars, fast once a week. If you can do all of that, you don't need to do navel oiling, because you don't live such a disciplined life. You're not
Yeah.
following a dinacharya, right?
We
So-
are disciplined in the wrong things, working, getting stressed about meetings.
Yeah. True.
You know?
True. So I believe that, eating, and if you don't know anything, go back, take a U-turn and go back to your grandmother, see what she was doing and follow that, So I believe that with all the pollutants in the air, it's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, it's expensive. You're not growing your own food, so you're depending on so many other places and people. But I believe, like you said, the first thing starts with your mind. What you want, how do you want to appear? How do you want to look? Do you want to look like the way you saw somebody's photograph on Instagram, or do you want to look the way you look?
And you don't even know. So many times, like you go to events and everything, and there's this person you admire and you see them in person, and you're like, "Arey?" you don't even know whether that person actually looks like that.
No, it doesn't.
You don't even know whether behind that perfect facade, what is the life they're living, what kind of house they're living in.
It's crazy. Look at the conversations on even in international forums. You're only talking about this, that people are getting into depression, girls are losing their confidence, they are not able to bear even a little bit of pain. They're not able to bear a little bit of discomfort. Can
I also say that, like, everybody is talking about what to eat. Everybody, we're still in the physical realm now, right?
There you go.
And I'm telling you, in the next 10 years, not even 10 years, people will start talking about how it's got nothing to do with what we eat.
Thank you for saying this. Somebody
is
thinking about it. Yeah.
What
exactly.
You can have all the, I mean, I remember, you've seen Eat, Pray, Love, right?
Yes, of course.
You remember that whole thing about when Julia Roberts, she goes to Italy and she's eating her pizzas and pastas, and the skin is looking better than ever before.
Yeah.
Then when she was in New York and she was going to yoga class, she was eating her green juices,
and it was not working out.
It wasn't working out.
It's the stress. It's the mind. It's the validation that we seek in every second. The validation that we seek, whether we're doing this right or not.
So I have one last question to close this thing, which I think is very important in today's, whatever is happening. And think of me when you're giving the answer. Sure, I write these spiritual books and whatever, but I have a mind that is like a double-edged sword. Okay?
You're not alone at all. Everybody is going through this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, what can I do every day for that little bit of sthirta, stability in my mind that I can cultivate over the long term? What is that step one? Easy step to do.
Very easy step to do. I've said this many times before, and I'll say again right now. There are two things that you need to do. One is to observe the sun. The second is to observe the moon. Start with just observing. Don't do anything. Don't give jal. Don't do Surya Namaskar. Don't do Chandra Namaskar. Don't do anything. Observe. When you get up in the morning, face east. Even if the sun has not risen, you know it comes from the east. Stand there and surrender to the sun, to the energy of the sun. In the night, when you go to sleep, you know where the moon is. Look at that direction. Surrender to the moon. Do this for just 1 month. Then they say that japam.
What if I wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning?
No problem. East sun to wahin se aa raha hai. Look at the sun in that. And the first thought is of accepting those elements. They are the ones that are allowing this sanchalan to happen, this movement to happen, right? And then in yoga, Patanjali says that japam tadartha bhavanam. He says that for Om, but it basically means that the more you invite something, the more its meaning will be revealed to you, right? So the more, without even thinking too much, oh my, what is this even going to do? But even just doing it, and you will see a shift in the way your mind functions.
How beautiful. Thank you for that.
Such a simple thing.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I've had some fabulous teachers who have taught me these things. And I believe that every single person needs to do this. Because we are not going through easy times. They are turbulent times. So my
And we have everything, yet we are unhappy.
Unhappy, right?
Yeah.
Because we lack our own that joy and that satisfaction within. Today we do a job. Today I'll do a sale for say 10 crore rupees, but I'm looking at a brand that is doing 100 crores and I'm not satisfied. Correct. So the whole idea is, yes, it is important to have the goals. It is definitely important, like you mentioned, to charge the right amount to grow and bring our products on the global market. Very important. But at what cost? If you are going to lose your sanity over it, it's not worth it.
100%. I
Right?
absolutely agree.
Yes. And then your good hair, good skin, good body all comes because the mind is so, it's so calm. And I think that's what it is.
And I also sometimes think, and this is really going off tangent, I'm like, how much of this is even real that we are working, sweating, going crazy about?
You're just waiting to die.
Yeah. Ultimately.
Ultimately.
That's the ultimate truth. On that positive note.
I don't think there is anything more positive than death.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reality, right? In the Yaksha Prashna, Yudhishthira goes to the lake, where that lake, the Yaksha in the lake has killed all the brothers. So basically, they come, they're traveling, and then they're in the Vanvas. And then one after the other, the brothers go to fetch water and they don't return. So then Yudhishthira goes. And Yudhishthira ko wo yaksh nikalta hai pani mein se. So I've heard that you're very intelligent. And there are these questions. If you can answer these questions, that revive your brothers. Beautiful. It's Yaksha Prashna is one of the gems that you get out of Mahabharata. People don't talk about it much.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I will. I've not written much, but you can check Yaksha Prashna and read about it.
Yes, absolutely.
And one of the questions the Yaksha asking, what is the strangest thing in the world? He asks, कि सबसे अजीबो गरीब चीज क्या है इस दुनिया में? And Yudhishthira says, the fact that we all know that we are going to die, but we all live as if we are going to be living forever. So this is the strangest thing in the world. So when you ask me, why are we doing all of this? Because we have to die. What will we do until we die? We are born
Actually,
and we have to die.
We are preparing also. The way we are preparing also is preparing for death.
Intelligence.
Why are we getting all our businesses together and all so that we can have a peaceful death? We can have a peaceful.
You've done your bit. You contribute your bit. But in the gist of it, it's just that nothing is going to go with you. But if you do a good deed, if you do something selflessly, it will be imbibed in the blueprint of this universe. And it will come back to people who seek it.
How beautiful. Goosebumps.
Yeah, because it will. You will go, but your books will remain, your thoughts will remain, this podcast will remain, people will look at us. So you're doing. So I believe that every single thing that a human being does should be for somebody else and not for themselves. This is something I believe in. This is something I've been living my life in. I think I've been blessed with, I don't know how many hands to have those kind of thoughts embedded into my head.
Yeah.
Right?
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think, are we done or we can go on? Cheers to leave.
Yeah, we can go on.
We'll
Part 2,
we'll
part
have to
3,
go
part 4.
meet
part
for dinner or something and then sit and chat.